Hi, good morning, and welcome back to my channel. It's Thursday. I woke up on the wrong side of the bed. I woke up not feeling my best. I snoozed, which I don't often do, but I have been feeling like I just need more sleep than usual lately. It's very unlike me. And sometimes I try to I try to lean into it and allow myself the rest when I need it, but I also, there's like a fine line between allowing myself rest and allowing myself to succumb to just being a person that rots in bed. So once I got up, I think you guys know that I've been walking 2 miles every day, usually on my walking pad first thing in the morning. I did start introducing Pilates into the mix at the start of this week, which I'm really loving. I'm stronger than I thought I was, which is kind of cool. But this morning I decided instead to go for a run outside, which you guys know, I don't really run anymore. There's a lot of reasons for that, but I forgot that there are so many things about running outside that I love so much in fact that I'm incentivized to start making that part of my routine again. I've really, especially nowadays, the way that our life looks, the alone time doesn't really happen. And it certainly doesn't happen without my brain having to be occupied with something else. So in the moments that I get by myself, because of the nature of the work that I do and the fact that I keep my son home, if I'm alone, I'm locked in on work or I'm asleep. And so I really enjoyed just being outside with some good worship music, feet on the pavement, gorgeous day. We live in a really gorgeous place, and I think I take that for granted often. So it honestly was just such a perspective shift that I needed, and it definitely righted my day. In other news, I guess it's time that I try out a different schedule for our pizza dough, because now that it's warming up outside, I guess our house is sitting a little hotter. My pizza dough severely overproofed, because this is not, I halved the recipe, so I'm not sure that this is usable. I may have time to make another batch, provided I have enough starter. Oh, so I think this is a thing where I'm gonna have to start doing it in the morning and letting it ferment during the day and then putting it in the fridge at night. So maybe I'll do that now. Just kidding, I don't have enough starter. So I'm going to feed my starter and maybe try again tonight. Maybe I'll just set an alarm then. How will this work? I think this could work. I'll figure it out. It's too early for math. I have not had my second cup of coffee. I'll figure it out. But either way, let's get this day started. I changed the location of the walking pad. So now I just face this wall, but there is this nice little window, at least. I had it the other way because you could see the TV that way, but honestly, I'm most often just here working, or even if I am watching TV, I'm usually just watching something on my computer or my iPad. So this is what I'm doing for now. I question a lot of the times why I think it's a good idea to vlog, because the days are a marathon, you guys. They're just literally non-stop. It's always loud, it's always chaotic. I'm rushing to fill espresso pods. I really only need 2 of them. But again, I have everything out. So I might as well take the extra few minutes and fill all of them that are sitting here to do my future self a favor. Because the reality is, things are gonna be just as chaotic for future Joey as they are right now. So if I can do something for her to eliminate that chaos, I'm gonna do it. So that's what we're doing. We just had several minutes of, I don't even know what to call it, because my kid hid one of the shoes that he wears to school. Not both, just one. So it really made me feel like I was losing my mind, because I found one where we normally keep shoes. And I was like, well, maybe my husband, in the fit of chaos last night, had one, put it in there, and then absentmindedly placed the other somewhere else. So I call him, he doesn't know. He's like, no, I put them both in where the shoes go. I'm like, great. So we just spent a good 15 minutes looking for a shoe, which was not part of today's plan. Isn't that how that always goes? But we are booking it out of here in just a hot minute to go to school. While Wade is at school, I'm actually going with my niece to do, we're going on a secret mission. We'll call it that. We're going on a secret mission. And then I have to pop by my mom's because I did come up with a plan for my pizza dough. So I'm gonna bring my starter with me. Fed it this morning, I'm gonna bring it with me. And while my son is at school, I'll go ahead and prep the dough at my mom's. Good news also is my mom's house is about 150 degrees at all times. So I'll leave it to bulk ferment at my mom's while we go to game night at school. And then it should be good to go in the fridge by the time we get home this afternoon. In other news, I have a raging headache behind my left eyeball. So I think I'm gonna have to, well, for one, I'm gonna make a coffee. For two, I think I'm gonna have to employ my secret weapon, which is honestly not that big of a secret, but it's Tylenol with a Sudafed. That should get rid of it. If nothing else, the caffeine will. Let's make a coffee. Did you break? That's a sad bummer, man. Does anybody else's kid do this when you're waiting for carpool? We get out of the car and walk up, so we are no longer driving. We're just waiting. But him and his buddies all stick their heads out the window and shout at each other, which is very funny to me. Also, if you're wondering if I got a new car, I did not, except I sort of did. My husband and I have swapped cars for the summer. So we have the exact same car, different year, different color. And my AC works, but not awesomely. And it's a black car with black leather interior. And it just gets real hot in the summer. And logically, my husband is driving to work and home from work. We are out and about all day long in the heat of the day, but also oftentimes like coming back to the car after being at a playground for hours, or we're really roasty hot, and then it takes forever for the car to cool back down. So it's just really uncomfortable. So we've decided to swap for the summer, which may end up being a permanent swap because this car has heated seats and mine does not, but it'll all depend on if my husband prefers the other car as well. I don't mind my car as long as it's not in the summer. I've dealt with it for the last 4 summers, or 3 summers. Yeah, last 3 summers. We are at school, and then later I'm gonna pick my kiddo up, and then after school we'll come back here because there's a game night this evening, which will be real fun. Anyway. Well, April could have still been cold. Cheers. You're welcome. I feel a little crazy with my precious cargo. And then my other precious cargo. And then my other precious cargo. I have dry shampoo in my hair, so please don't judge me. But I also have the crew. I got this little guy. And then I have my little furry kitty cat friend, but I'm not going to show him because he's gotten a real bad haircut and he's embarrassed. I shave him every so often and he loves to be shaved. The problem is he likes to rub against the clippers when I'm shaving him, and so he looks severely homeless. So I'm just not going to show him because I'm pretty sure someone would report me for animal abuse. I promise you he likes it. But oh my gosh, I didn't show much of today because it was, again, just like a full-on marathon of a day. The little secret adventure, if you couldn't tell, was going to get my niece's belly button pierced. It started because I've had my belly button pierced twice right before I moved into my dorm for college. I think every 18-year-old has to have that like rite of passage, and I loved it. And then I took it out. I don't remember exactly when I took it out, but I feel like I took it out for something medical, and then I never put it back in. And so after I was married, I got it re-pierced again, only just because now you had a hole in your belly, and kept it in, and I took that out for my gallbladder surgery and let it close up. Well, after I had my son, the hole, as you can imagine, stretched a little bit. It's funny because I do have a tattoo in a very hidden spot. It's very, very low hip, and I was certain that after getting pregnant or getting pregnant was going to destroy this tattoo. I'm not like emotionally attached to the tattoo at all. The amount of thought that didn't go into this tattoo is astonishing. I'll say it this way. There was a long wait at the restaurant my friend and I were waiting to get into, and there was a tattoo shop next door. I'll leave it at that. And I was certain that pregnancy was going to ruin that tattoo, and it didn't at all. It did not touch the tattoo, which I don't really biologically understand. But my piercing just was so much more noticeable to me now, even though it has closed up. I don't know if it's possibly also because everything is now high-waisted with like a midriff shirt. And so like, even though I'm covered, if I like lift my hands up or whatever, all you see is this like this hole poking out. And I just didn't think it looked all that cute. Nobody else has probably ever noticed it, but I was really insecure about it. And so I decided that I was just gonna go get mine re-pierced, because I was like, if something's gonna be noticeable and visible, I'd rather it just be, I'm just gonna put like a really dainty piece of jewelry in there. I'm sorry, this dog, first of all, is huge. And second of all, does not understand personal space. And so I was telling my sister that I was gonna go. Well, she's like, well, if you're gonna go, take, her daughter with me, who's 18, but probably just didn't want to go by herself. And so that was a fun little outing. I did not film a whole lot while we were in there for obvious reasons. But if you are looking for somewhere to get a piercing in the Wake Forest area, I cannot recommend that place enough, and I cannot recommend that piercer enough. I think she's the only piercer there. Holy smokes. Like I've said, I've had my belly button pierced twice before. This woman, so knowledgeable, really took her time to like map out, and like even with me, because I had scar tissue, because I've had it pierced before, really took her time. It didn't hurt at all. It didn't hurt for me, and it didn't hurt for my niece. Highly recommend. From there, as you guys saw, we went over to my mom's. I was able to do my pizza dough, and exactly as I predicted, between the heat in my mom's house, and I was done with all of my coil folds by time it was time for us to go to the game night at my son's school. So I just stuck it in the car. So honestly, like when we got home just now and like did bath and bed, I was able to put it in the fridge. It had doubled in size already. So this baking is going to be a lot different in the summer, I'm learning, which I should have realized. But honestly, also, if I have any piece of advice for somebody who's thinking about starting a sourdough starter, start it in the summer. I started mine in the dead of winter, and I couldn't understand like why it was taking so long to grip on. And I have a super healthy starter now, but I probably would have had better luck faster if I did it in the summertime. So anyway, it was a very, very busy day, but a good one. And I think I mentioned earlier, like going for the run earlier, I've mentioned a few times that I have a tendency to like kind of rush through everything, or at least always have that under the surface feeling of rushing. And I've talked about wanting to slow down. I have this tendency to like go hard. Like if I can't go hard, or if I'm not going hard, then it's not worth it, and I'm just not going to do it at all. I feel like I'm really learning the perspective over the last several months of the value of slowing down. Like the mantra I just kept hearing while I was running this morning was like, you don't have to go fast, you just have to go. Pick a pace and stick to it. Eventually you'll get where you're going. You're still going faster than not moving at all. I had this moment, I guess it was last week. I usually would do my 2-mile walk on the walking pad. I think I do it at like 3.3 speed. It usually takes me about like just under 40 minutes to get 2 miles in. I had to edit a video. I knew it was going to take me a while to edit the video, and so I didn't want to take time away from editing to do the walk. So I was like, well, whatever, I'll just walk while I'm editing, but I walk at a much slower pace when I'm actually working. And in my mind, because I'm going slow, it doesn't count. Well, you guys, not only did I do 2 miles while editing the video, I did 4 miles while editing the video. And it was just this like realization that I'm like, I've really got to stop with this thought process of like, just because I'm going slow doesn't mean it's not getting me somewhere. And it doesn't have to be all at once. And it doesn't have to be this whole big rushed thing. You can actually like slow down and enjoy the process and enjoy your scenery. And like even tonight, like doing bath time and bedtime with my kiddo after such a marathon of a day, ordinarily I would have really been like, let's go, we gotta move, we gotta do this, we gotta do that. And I was like, whatever. He went to bed late because this game night was late, and I just had to like get into the mindset of like, whatever. Like, one night isn't going to make or break his sleep cycle. He doesn't have school tomorrow. We can take a totally lazy day if he needs to. And I want to enjoy this time with my kid rather than just rushing him around. And we still moved at the right pace. The only difference was that I wasn't like rushing him the whole time and like losing my cool because now he's not operating at the pace that I want him to operate on. And like, we had such a sweet moment, like as we were laying there. And he's like, Mommy, I'll hold your hand. I'm like, yeah, I'll hold your hand. He goes, okay, but don't leave until after I'm asleep. And I was like, I won't. He goes, okay. And then it was so quiet and he goes, love you, Mommy. Like, I don't normally do bath in bed because that's my husband's domain, because I have been on usually the whole day. And it's just, I've had a bunch of these little reminders lately that, isn't there a TikTok trend right now that's like, I almost forgot this is the whole point? Like, the whole point is to be here in the now and experience all parts of the journey and not like have this mindset of like rushing always to the next better thing. Like, even in the case with like work, I have so many ideas and things I want to do, and they're good ideas and they're viable business things. Like, they're viable, but I've not allowed them to be viable because in order to make them happen, I'd have to allow myself to go slow in the beginning because businesses take time to grow. And in my mind, if it's not an uber success right out the gates, it's not worth taking the time to do it. And so because I know it's not going to be an uber success right out the gates, I just don't do it. And it's the dumbest thing I've ever heard, because you guys, Yeah Maybe became an Amazon bestseller overnight, 9 years after I published it. We're talking the long game, my friends. Like, to the people who only stumbled across that video and all of the aftermath of that video, they're like, oh, this girl became an Amazon bestseller overnight. Yeah, but I had written the book 9 years before, or I published the book 9 years before. I had started writing it 15 years before. It's not overnight, and I don't know where I get this mindset from. If you're struggling with it too, like if you're struggling with the idea of like rushing around, if you're struggling with like your go hard tendencies, or if it's not all, then it's nothing, stick around, hang out with me, subscribe to the channel, because that is obviously the lesson I'm being like sent this year, and I am enjoying the hell out of that lesson. Like, some lessons are really painful to learn. This lesson so far has been really like relieving to learn and comforting and peaceful. If you guys watched the video of my like making of my vision board for the year, then you know those are all things that I wanted more of this year. And part of that was the art of slowing down. And I asked, and I have received, and I've been taught, I've been shown different aspects of this lesson in so many different ways so far, and it's only April. So I'm excited. Let's rephrase that, because eager is like anticipation and like impatient for. I am excited to continue to learn the art of slowing down and welcoming the peace and comfort that brings. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and end today's video. Thank you guys for being here with me on a very normal marathon work from home, stay at home mom work day that basically is us never at home and always on the go, and still trying to get our jobs done in the meantime. If you resonated with this content at all, or you just feel like we could be friends, go ahead and subscribe, like the video, comment down below, and let me know if you too are in the trenches trying to learn how to slow down, you're trying to stop rushing, or if you even just have that underlying feeling of like rushing through things that aren't even like, you don't have to rush through. I'd like to know if I'm not alone in that. It would make me feel better. So please share that if you also feel that way sometimes. And I will see you all again very, very soon. Bye.